All right, planning is always great, right? Setting goals, having standards, having these mile markers for what you want to do in your business, and in life. Like we're taught this from the time, we're in grade school, right? You have a report, you have a project that you're doing, you have steps that you take to get there. Okay, well, I remember back when you were in like middle school, high school, they talked, guidance counselor might have spoke to you and said, hey, what's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? Even some pose the theoretical question of if you were, if you were rich and had no reason to work, what would you do with your money? Ideally, it was to make you think and put you in the perspective of what it is you want to set your goals for. Because if you had the freedom to do anything, maybe you'll know where your career path should be, right? Ultimately, if you're building your business, just like if you're setting goals in your life, they need to be structured. They need to be structured with purpose and intention. You've got to have like, of course, you want your end goal. You want what it is you're seeking, what it is your ultimate, where it is you want your business to be at its height, right? And lots of people have these, huge goals. It's like, oh, I want to get here, I want to get there. Gary Vee is a great example. Gary Vee talks about the idea of, he's growing his business, he's building his platform, he's continuing to reach out to people and help people grow their platforms and things like that. But then within all that, he says what his ultimate goal is he wants to buy the jets, right? And he's talked about this many times. He talked about the reality and the rationality behind it. It's like, first of all, the jets aren't even for sale. And will he ever be able to afford them? Who knows? But ultimately, he's continuing to say, hey, that's my ultimate dream. If I could buy the jets, then I'd, be a happy man. I'd have achieved everything. So it's awesome to set this huge goal. That's your end game, right? But then at the same time, to have these mile markers along the way saying, hey, well, what am I going to see? Gary Vee talks about the idea of enjoying the moments, enjoying the journey, enjoying the destination. You've heard me talk about this many times before also. But in addition to just enjoying the journey, you've got to have the mile markers along the journey. If all your journey is hey, there's this goal off in the distance, that's where I'm going, that's what I'm going after, and well, you can enjoy and embrace the journey along the way, but are you making the proper steps now to hit the small goals along the way? Some people have this struggle that they can't see the forest through the trees. They can't see the big goal because they're too focused on the little things. But I think far too often, especially with entrepreneurs and in this business world that we're in right now, especially when we get this, affirmation and validation through social media, and we get on these platforms and we're like, well, this is my end game. This is what my big goal is. I think sometimes people miss the little goals now. I think it's more common that people miss the little goals today than it was years ago. I think it used to be a bigger struggle that people would miss the big goal and they just focus on these little things. Now people have these huge goals because they're like, oh, well, I see what this person's doing. I see what that person's doing. You see all these different things on social media. You see these things in the news about what people have achieved, these great accomplishments. And you're like, I want to do something great. I want to build a business. I want to invent something. I want to create something. I want to do something huge, right? But you forget the little steps along the way. How do you get there? You just have this big goal that's off in the distance, and you got to narrow in your focus. You really got to figure out what it is that you're missing right now. Like, what's your today goal? You should have a today goal. Every morning you should wake up with a today goal, and then you should have a week goal. A lot of businesses, a lot of companies, you have your quarterlies. You have your goal for the quarter, right? Every 3 months, where are you supposed to be, right? Okay, then you also have, a lot of times you'll have, well, what's my end of the month goal? What's my 30-day? Well, when you're building a business, when you've got your small business that you're just starting, that you're just trying to get off the ground, start smaller. What's your monthly goal? What's your weekly goal? What's your daily goal? What are you going to accomplish today? And make it reasonable. Like I'm definitely that guy. I'm definitely the guy who's gonna, have this huge goal, and it's gonna be so hard to attain, and I way overextend myself all the time. But I advise you that's not the way to be, and I have to try to rein myself in all the time. And Kimberly, my wonderful wife, and partner and everything, and my business partner, both of my partners, Z and Garrett, they help me try to rein it in sometimes too. They're like, hey man, come on. What are you going to do today? Be reasonable, man. And it's like, I fall short of it all the time. So I'm not like saying, oh, I got it all figured out. It's like, I got the answer, but implementing the answer is the hardest part. And so that's what I'm telling you today. What's your goal today? What's your goal today? How are you going to win today and go to bed tonight saying, I won. I accomplished this. I'm set up for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be successful because of what I did today. And then tomorrow you wake up and you're like, how is the next day going to be successful based on what that day did? Each day you're building for today. Stop building for later, build for today. And today's going to make tomorrow successful. And then once you get to that point where you're in this fluid rhythm where you're winning each day, what's your week? What's your month? Then what's your quarter? Then what's your year? You can get into those bigger things, but take those steps first. Take those small steps. Win today. All right, it's your boy. I got love for y'all. I hope this resonates with y'all. I hope this helps you just gain some perspective and really trying to reel that in and just grab a hold of your business. Grab a hold of your own destiny. Grab a hold of your future. But in order to grab a hold of your future, you got to win today. All right, I'm out. I got love for y'all. Let's get it done.